Habari Entertainment proudly presents Habari Live. Habari Live. From Phoenix, Arizona. And you're listening to the Habari Live podcast. The show that brings you news, sports, and entertainment for people who love HabariEntertainment.com. Here are your hosts, Iesha, Jimmy, and Damon Dipleen Ellison. Let's get it going. We are all the way live.
Yes. Good morning. Welcome to another episode of Habari Live, your go-to podcast for the posts of Phoenix and beyond. We are thrilled to bring you the latest episode and the news for the week. Your go-to podcast for the posts of Phoenix. I already said that, and beyond. Like always, we are all the way live from Phoenix, from Paradise Valley in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm Damon Dipleen Ellison.
Iesha.
And we will be your guide through the exciting stories and everyday, man, my stuff is moving slow, and happenings in your vibrant community. Your weekly dose of inspiration, innovation, and insightful conversations.
That's pretty slow.
Yeah, it's going slow. And let's get it together, man. Let's go ahead and get it started this week. We're going to talk about a couple things, man. One of the main things that we're going to be talking about is the U.S. prison system. We're going to talk about that for a few minutes. We have some top stories going on. We got the hurricane, which was Hurricane
Milton and Hurricane Helene.
Hurricane Helene. It's not a joke, man. It's been really, really bad. One of the worst storms since Katrina. A lot of people are still without power. A lot of people's homes were flooded. Sand came into people's homes. Man, I saw a guy. He was on top of the house pretty much just in sand because that much sand had came and filled up the area. The home was almost filled with sand to the ceiling. It was pretty crazy, man. But man, we want to send all thoughts to the people out there, man, out there in the hurricane areas that was hit, and we definitely want to say we hope everything gets back to normal for you fast, and respect to the people that were able to get through it, man. And I know it was tough. Some people lost some people, man, because it was a bad situation, and a lot of people were lost. So yeah, that's bad. We don't want to hear that. So prayers out to them. And what other stories we got, babe?
There was a black man that was arrested this week. Also in regards to Florida, the hurricanes, everything that's going on. A man strapped his house down. Don't know if you've seen the pictures yet, but if you haven't, you're more than welcome to search the internet to see it. We, like you said, we're going to talk about the prison system in America. We're going to talk a little bit about Elon Musk, what he's been doing lately. Then we're gonna jump into the world of sports, and we got some Cardinals action going on, a little bit of NBA action going on since the preseason is here. It is upon us. And then I think to end out the show today, we'll talk about a little bit about Agatha and what's going on in the newest episode of Agatha.
Yeah, man. So it should be a great episode. And like always, man, we're gonna do what we can to make sure you guys are updated with the most pressing topics of the week, and and discuss the things that matters most to the people that watch our show. And that's what it's about, man. It's just making sure that you are informed. And we're just out here talking about the topics, just like we're sitting in our living room chilling, having a good day, and a couple people are just talking about the things that went on throughout the week. And that's what we are. And that's what we represent. So let's get it going, man. Run that Habari News Weekly. No, it's going to be in the in design. Yep. I think it's which one is it? The one with us two on the picture. There you go. Go to the right.
There you go. All the way down. One more.
No,
go over to your right.
Yeah, to the right. There you go. One more. There you go.
It's Habari News Weekly with Damon Dipling Ellison. Sponsored by...
All right, you guys. At this time, we do not have any sponsors, but if you would like to sponsor us, please email us at info@habarientertainment.com. We do have packages for every budget, and we can do any type of sponsorship, marketing, whatever you need. We can do it all. All right, guys. So this week, the first story that I read, it was kind of disheartening, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So a black man who's deaf and has cerebral palsy, he's facing felony aggravated assault and resisting arrest.
Oh man, craziness.
Yeah. I mean, this is after he was repeatedly punched and tasered by a pair of Phoenix police officers. And the violent and rapid arrest of Tyron McAlpine raises questions about how the Phoenix Police Department is going about doing their jobs. To me, it's just, I really don't get it. It's like they, within seconds of their interaction with this man, they've tackled him, they're tasering him, they're beating him up, they're throwing punches. He was punched in the head at least 10 times, tasered 4 times, and the officers wrapped their arms around his neck, put him in a chokehold. These are Phoenix police officers. The job is to de-escalate situations.
You would think so, man. You would think so. But Phoenix police have been getting a pretty bad rap lately, with their overboard antics, beating up people. A lot of shootings from the police out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is ridiculous, man. The guy is we don't know the whole story, but man, it just seems like the guy was deaf. That he's disabled. So I just don't understand.
It was false claims. That's the reason why he got arrested. The Phoenix police say they are acting on false claims from a white man, which is now under investigation. The body camera footage did show that the officers, like I said, punched him, kicked him, tasered him. They did all sorts of things. They literally rode up on him. It was kind of like, when I watched the video, it was almost like watching Tamir Rice. The police rolled up on him, jumped out the car, tackled him instantly.
Oh, well, I mean, Tamir Rice was a drive-by, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I get it. But in the matter of how exactly, like, they didn't give this man any time to say, hey, I'm deaf, I got cerebral palsy, I have, issues. They just immediately jumped to attacking this man.
Right.
And that's ridiculous.
Man. So, I mean, what did they say? What the accusations that were put onto the gentleman? That they say exactly what they were called for? They didn't get into that.
They didn't get into that. And that's kind of what I was trying to find out. I was like, why would they do this? So, I mean, I'm gonna keep following this story because I really would like to see what the outcome was and why
they decided to just beat this man up.
Right. Why are they saying that it was false claims from a white man? Like, what were the false claims?
Right.
So,
yeah, I mean, I hope I just wish that our police officers were taught de-escalation tactics. I mean, we understand it's a tough job. We understand that a lot of people, man, we've seen people come after police officers, shooting them, trying to kill them. So it's a tough job, man. One I would not do. And that's why, you can't, you try to take up for the police officers. Sometimes in some situations, they can't always be wrong. But, dog, you beating up a deaf man with cerebral palsy.
Exactly.
I mean, it's hard to try to take up for you in this situation.
Other information that's come out is saying that the police officers in their report said that he wasn't complying with with orders.
Probably because he couldn't hear you, bro.
And that's exactly what his attorney is saying. He didn't comply because he couldn't freaking hear you.
Yeah. That's tough, man. Like I said, man, it's tough. I mean, that's why sometimes people are asking that the police understands it, but there's no way to know that the man was deaf before you got there. There's no way to know.
That's what they're saying. Like that's what the officers were saying in their report. We didn't know he was deaf.
Yeah, I mean, they wouldn't know.
Y'all, yeah, literally, as soon as you got out of the car, you tackled him and you started beating him up. So you didn't give him a chance to tell you he was deaf.
Right, to start doing sign language to show that he was deaf. Right.
And they're saying, oh, he was throwing punches.
The deaf man was.
The deaf man was throwing punches.
I mean, I probably would throw punches too if somebody jumped out the car and just tackled me and threw me down.
Right.
I mean, you didn't say why I was being arrested. You didn't tell me anything.
You didn't even give me a chance to say, I can't hear you.
Right.
I'm deaf. I need sign language. Right. I need an interpreter.
Man. Yeah, man. Like I said, man. You have to do. You got to do better, man.
We do. And it's sad because this is happening just 2 months after the DOJ just released their report.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was a very damning report that showed the Phoenix Police Department in a very, very, very bad light, and it's not getting any better, man.
It's not.
You know, I know they like to. What was the name of the chief? That was the black lady. What was her name? They blamed her for everything. I forget her name. Jerry. Yeah. I can't think what the last name right now. But anyway, she took a brunt of all of this. Yes, she did. They loved blaming her for some reason. She was new to the job. But everything that happened under her was her fault. And it was all just her. And she leaves.
Everything that happened prior to her was her fault.
It's been happening for decades.
Right.
For these motherfuckers sit around and act like, oh, it was just under her, like she was just bad. She did some bad things, but we saw a expose last week where they were talking about how the police officers are getting their history and their bad history expunged
from their records
because they don't want to pay the money to the unions.
What do they call them? Payout plans or something like that,
because they don't want to pay the money to the unions. They are rather let the officer leave
and expunge everything on their record
and get ready, because it's hard to fire them because of the unions. Now these are the things that are ridiculous. These are the things that I understand. Unions, man, unions are important, but
there has to be
the police union. Just it seems like they don't want to take any accountability for the actions of their fucking officers, and that's crazy. Now, how you gonna just be like, oh well, we're a union, so I understand that you got to have reasons to fire people. You got to have some things to show evidence. So but if you have a pattern of beating up people,
if an officer has that pattern, if they have more than 2 or 3 misconducts on their file, you should be looking at termination.
It definitely.
That's how it is at any other industry's job.
Definitely. You can't. I mean, could you imagine being able to get away with lying about evidence, like the guy who shot the man? I forget I think he was in Florida, but he was a Navy officer.
Yeah.
And they was talking about how he was lying and things on things before, and he's just able to just go to it and get another job.
Get another job at a different precinct.
Yeah, and just go and do his thing. So it's like, man, we have to really, really think about what are we going to do to make sure that people who do things incorrectly pay for their transactions. We can't just let them just get away with these things. And that's definitely something we have to change.
Because it's ridiculous how an officer can have misconduct in several precincts.
Right.
Several precincts across the states.
And no one...
And not one precinct will say, oh, well, we're not going to hire you because of your background, because of your misconduct.
Right.
We're just going to go ahead and hire you.
But if they're erasing the backgrounds because they don't want to get sued or they don't want to spend the money to get rid of this officer, that's just, it's defeating the purpose of what are we trying to do. Now, we're going to get more into this as we talk about the justice system in here in a little bit. But let's get to the next story, man.
I know you guys have seen all the rumors, all the photos that have been associated with Hurricane Milton, Hurricane Helene, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what stood out to me most this week was that a man in Florida strapped his house down like you would a bed, like if you was hauling something on a truck bed.
Right.
He said he spent $20,000 to have these anchors put into his yard, and they surround the entire property. $20,000,
Right.
but it worked.
Yeah.
His house didn't go nowhere in the tornadoes.
My first thought pattern is just that how is these straps going to keep the windows and all the doors and stuff from flying off?
It's
like,
not. It just keeps the roof from being lifted and the house from being lifted off of the property.
But how many houses are getting lifted in hurricanes?
How many? All the tornadoes.
They get tore apart from the foundation,
from the wind,
right? From the wind, from the
but
windows,
you also
knocking
there were
everything
also
out.
tornadoes coming through.
Yeah, I know.
They were also getting hit with tornadoes.
Definitely.
So
I mean, your house is still there. I guess that's a win, man. But $20,000—that's a lot of money, man. That's not chump change.
it's
And
really not.
For 5 straps.
Oh no, that's not just 5. They're on the side of the house and the back of the property as well.
Okay.
He's got those those bolts lines all the way around the property.
Everybody don't have $20,000 to be able to do this, but hey, if you have the ability to get this done,
he did this because he had experience with previous hurricanes and tornadoes when he
Yeah.
lived in I think it was the Philippines or Puerto Rico,
Right.
one of those two. But he was like, I had a roof and it was a tin roof and it came up during the hurricane and we was like, nope. So when we came here, this is what we decided to do with our property.
Wow.
And it was the first time that they were really testing it to see if it was gonna work.
Yeah. Hey man, if it works, dog, what can you say?
I mean, I can foresee
other people spending
$20,000 to do that for their
that's a lot of
especially the ones that live in hurricane areas and places that may receive a lot of tornadoes. I can see them spending that money for that.
Whew. Yeah, that's a lot of money though, man. That's all I keep thinking. 20. But hey, I guess it's better than trying to rebuild your whole home and everything. If you have the ability to do that, get it done.
If you got the means, go for it.
Yeah, everybody was laughing at dude, but hey, he kind of looks like a genius. It was another dude who rode it out in the boat who's getting a lot of money too.
Yeah.
And he rode it out in some boat and everybody was sending him money and he's got all type money now. I think he was like, nothing happened last time. I'm gonna do it again. So I'm just gonna ride it out. A lot of people try to ride it out, man, but
they do.
Dude, a lot of people died. So I don't know.
When I last saw numbers,
it was like 1,000,
200.
When
the last time I saw numbers,
I thought it
was
bigger
200.
than that. I thought it was larger than that, but I could be wrong. I don't want to start saying stuff and so I'll be wrong.
Right.
But I thought the numbers were really high. They did say the highest number since Katrina. That's one thing I do know for sure. But hey, you got to do what you got to do to survive, man. In these situations, man, I get it. It's tough times, man, when you have to go through stuff like that.
The death toll surpassed 230 for Hurricane Helene.
Okay, but that ain't talking about
Hurricane Milton has confirmed 17 deaths.
Okay, all right. So I don't know where I got that crazy number from.
Yeah,
but 200, that's still a lot of people, man.
Is.
That's a lot of people that's gonna be mourning. So you definitely that's definitely crazy, man.
A lot of families.
And
then over 3 million are without power after Hurricane Milton.
Man. Yeah, it's tough, man.
And then another thing that was rumored during these hurricanes was that FEMA was giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to immigrants, housing them and things like that.
The conspiracy theories out again.
And that another one was that FEMA's only giving $750 to the people who are actually being affected by the hurricanes.
Yeah, man. You got to thank old President Trump and his cronies for putting out trash. It's garbage, man. I
It
mean,
really
this
is.
is the stuff that they do nowadays. And I mean, this, people were mad that Biden even came out and said something about it, but it's so detrimental to what they're trying to
Hmm.
do that if you have people thinking these things, then they're not going to reach out to FEMA. They're not going to reach out for help because they're believing that they're not going to get any
Yep.
help and that FEMA's not calling anybody. They made it seem like he wasn't talking to the governor. The governor immediately debunked that, and it's like
Hmm.
I just don't understand all the lies, man. If you have something to say about the 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 reaction or what they did not do when the storm came, just speak the truth. Hey, I think they could have been faster. I think that Biden and them could be doing more. Why do you have to make up stuff?
Right.
You know what I mean? To politicize this is crazy anyway, because anytime there's a school shooting, the first thing they say, oh, you politicizing it too fast, because they don't want to talk about that.
Right.
So they are rather to turn the corner and just thoughts and prayers. But when it's a storm, they immediately people are dying and they're immediately politicizing it, and it's cool. And then putting out information that's incorrect.
Exactly.
And it's, dog, please, I can't wait till this dude is gone, man.
What
I'm
gets
so sick
me
of this shit.
is that, yeah, it's the thoughts and prayers that they want to give for school shooting victims. But when it's a natural disaster, something that is happening because of climate change,
That they don't believe in.
then it's all of a sudden a conspiracy. It's a hoax.
It's, yeah.
I saw someone post on Facebook this week that they were controlling the weather.
Yeah. That was
That they
something
were
that
the government was controlling the weather, and they were controlling the hurricanes
mhm.
and
And
all this.
they sent them to red states, is what they said. And they also said that it was this was Marjorie Taylor Greene, an actual politician, and I think she's a senator or she's a Congress. I think she's Congress.
Congress, I
But
believe.
to this is stuff that you would hear from your crazy uncle.
Right. The
To
crazy drunk uncle.
to have a congressman in there saying this craziness is just wild. And then you got Trump and them backing it up. Like this is crazy times. And these are the people that's sitting around telling us, "Oh, don't listen to the news, fake news, fake news, fake news." And it's people who are echoing this. They believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy
Oh, and
times,
another
man.
rumor that came out
Mhm.
was I don't know if you saw it. You probably did, but Walt Disney World was flooded.
Right.
Those images were
Fake.
fake.
AI.
They were created by a Russian AI.
Russians. I mean, we love following the Russians for some reasons.
But people are believing that this is what happened.
I don't get it, man. As soon as I saw it, I looked at it.
I
Was like,
looked
that's
at it,
fake.
it was like, that's fake.
But people want that. They hate Disney. They hate that Disney is inclusive. They hate that Disney have gay people in the shows. They hate that Disney have too many black people. They hate Disney. This the whole thing is to hate this. It's woke. They hate woke. And anything, and woke is being inclusive. Right. Not hating people because they are what they are.
Because of who they are.
Just, I mean,
accepting people for who they are.
No, you don't have to agree with their lifestyle, man.
To accept them for who they are.
Accept them who they are, man. I'm not with all the sweetie Chuck stuff. I'm not with that. I don't want it in my vicinity. I'm good. But if that's who you are, what can I do?
Right.
I'm immediately hate you. I love people for who are. That's who you are. That's who you are. What can I do? We want to ban books because they think they might.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so much, and the hate for Disney. That's what makes people. The hate makes people share the stuff because they wish this would happen to Disney. That
they wished it was true.
They wish they want it to be real. So that's why they think it. I mean, you can't lie to yourself because you do it too. Because everybody has biases, man. We all do, and it's all about not giving into those biases. Like we talk about like Diddy. I've never been a Diddy fan. I've always thought that dude was a crook. There's no way that this dude isn't a crook. I've said it forever. But then when it comes out that he is a crook and that he is the person that I thought he was,
right,
then I'm not gonna jump on the bandwagon of killing dude, because you know what? I already knew it, and I'm not really gonna jump into the group of killing everybody. Let's see the evidence. Let's see what happens to this man. Let's see what goes on. Let's see what happens in court. Give people a chance, man. I know it sucks to be able to not jump to conclusions, to automatically get into the groove of saying, hey, this person's guilty, or that person did that,
Right.
or I don't like that person, so this person. You can't do that. I never really didn't dig with dude, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I mean, even though it's 200,000 people coming out, I'm still gonna say, let's see what the court says.
Right. Let's see
Let's
what
see what
the
the judge
evidence
says.
says.
Let's see what the evidence is pointed to before we start saying this man is 100% guilty. And that's just the way I am. He's looking pretty guilty, but still, we have to give him a chance to see where the court case goes,
in
where
a
things
society where you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
No, you're guilty until proven innocent in America.
Yep.
That's how people do things. And that's why I try not to be that way. I try not to. It's hard. Sometimes you want to draw conclusions because you have certain biases against certain people. That's just how it is. You know, if it's you don't want it to be that way, and that's why we try to not be that way, but that's how it is, man. Sometimes you just, you know what I'm saying, you have your bias. And you know, you just can't let that rule your whole decision making and everything.
That's true. But we got a comment from the audience.
What's up with it?
It says, nah, F that. Diddy been diddling in dirty deeds.
Hey, man. Hey, that's what they say, man. We can't sit around and act like that the evidence is important to that, because you got 200, 300 people coming out suing them.
Right. And then in the latest thing that came out was saying that it was 120 new charges that could be pending towards him, because 60 men and 60 women have come forward.
We got little kids coming forward.
Well, it's not that they're little kids.
They like 9
They're
and 10.
saying that that's how old they were when it happened.
Oh.
They were that age. These are adult people saying, this happened when I was
why do people hold
this
secret?
age and
why
that
do people
age?
Just tell. Why do people hold? Man, we got to stop this shit. That's one thing I really hate about the community, is this snitching shit. Tell.
But
what the fuck if somebody was fucking with you at 9, man? You got to tell, bro. I know, I understand.
It's hard.
But you have to come out.
And here's why. Because there are some households where, like I grew up in, it was
your fault and all that.
No, it's not your fault.
Right.
It's what goes on in this house stays in this house.
But he's not.
You don't go talking to nobody about what's going on in this house. If something happened to you, you keep your mouth freaking shut.
That's not what I'm talking about, though. We're talking about somebody that he went to his house. He wasn't him. You know what I'm saying? It's a different situation. He told someone this, and someone talked them out of doing it. And I don't understand it, man. People have to say what's going on. We can't keep these secrets, man. If something is happening and somebody's doing something to you, man,
find someone you can trust with the information.
And
tell.
You got to tell, man. What's the next story, man?
That was it. Let's go on into the
Let's go to the Hollywood hot mess. That should be the video. It's a video.
Yeah. You want to do that before we go into the big story?
No, let's do the big story. You good, man. Hollywood hot mess is the one with the fire on it. On the second row. Yeah. Don't worry about it though right now. Let's go into this story, man. We're going to talk a little bit about the justice system, man. Basically, what we want to talk about today is how the system helps or hurt the country. Is there more pluses than minuses? Is there a situation where we can do a lot better? Aren't you supposed to start it out?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
But you had some stuff you were talking about first before I jumped in.
So we just want to discuss those things and go over the landscape of the criminal justice.
That's right, Damon. Legislators in states like Minnesota have been looking to other regions, comparing crime rates and policy outcomes, hoping to glean insights on what works and what doesn't. But as we'll discuss today, what we're seeing may not paint the full picture, but one of the key tools lawmakers use is a concept called deterrence theory. For those that you don't know what that is, it is a principle that has been debated over for 2 centuries.
Wow, that's crazy. I mean,
The
the
deterrence.
deterrence theory originally developed in the late 1700s. It took center stage again in the 1960s as policymakers and scholars alike examined how punishment could deter criminal activity or criminal behavior. The core idea is simple: if the punishment is swift, certain, and severe enough, it should discourage people from committing crimes. But it doesn't seem to be that way.
I mean, we're seeing that deterrence works best in cases where there's conscious planning,
Mm-hmm.
like white collar crimes or premeditated offenses. But for crimes driven by addiction or emotional outbursts, the threat of punishment doesn't have the same effect.
It's moving slow.
And increasing already lengthy prison sentences doesn't seem to deter crime more effectively either.
Yeah, and we have to ask ourselves: is this creating a safer community, or is it perpetuating a cycle where of punishment, where people are just keep doing the same thing, and recidivism is an issue, and people are just keep going to
Hmm.
jail, and we're not addressing the root issue that's causing the crimes.
That's correct. And that brings us to a fundamental issue: mass incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
The United States has nearly 2 million people behind bars, and about 57% of them are serving prison sentences of 10 years or more. That's more than the entire prison population of 1970.
Holy crap!
We've created a system where long sentences are the norm, but they're not necessarily effective in reducing crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It doesn't seem like what we're doing is really helping our situation out. Um, we Let me see.
We should
The
be.
report from Vera offers several legislative proposals that could dramatically reduce our reliance on incarcerations.
Hmm.
For example, setting up maximum prison sentences of 20 years for adults and 15 years for young people. Research shows that most people age out of criminal behavior, making these long sentences unnecessary.
Yep. And let's not forget the racial disparities. The system disproportionately impacts Black and Latinx
Hmm.
communities, exacerbating systematic inequalities. And we're talking about communities being over policed, and over punished. And yet, these policies are not delivering the results that they promise.
Yeah, I mean, what do you do, man? We both, everybody has someone that's been in the prison
Hmm.
system and that has been in and out of jail most of their lives, and could never figure out how to get themselves back to normal. We know people, you know people. I
Hmm.
know my brothers, to drop it on the real. They've been in and out of jail before my other brother, my older brother, died, passed away. That's what he that's what he lived, man. And the thing was that he had mental health issues, and no one cared about his mental health. They just kept putting him in jail. No one's going to put him in anywhere to try to give him some real help.
And it's hard when you have mental health issues like your older brother did,
Mm-hmm.
because some people don't think that they do have a mental health issue.
Right.
And they're like, you know, it could be family trying to petition the court or petition, some sort of crisis
Mm-hmm.
center to get you the help that you need. But if if you're saying, well, I don't need it, that's not me,
They won't help you,
they won't help you
even though everyone sees
around you.
that he needs help. But since the crazy person won't admit that they're crazy, they won't help him. That is the dumbest shit I've heard of in my life.
Right.
You're not going to help a person who's crazy because they won't admit that they're crazy. That's just a cop out. And it's the reason why he suffered his whole life going in and out of jail. They wouldn't do anything. So perhaps the most radical idea is the call to abolish mandatory minimums. This would give
Mm-hmm.
judges more discretion to consider the individual circumstances of each case,
Yep.
something that Judge Jack Weinstein, a judge known for his opposition to rigid sentencing guidelines, strongly advocated for.
I mean, that's exactly it. You can't use a one size fits all system
No,
because that just doesn't work.
no.
More importantly, it's about centering the needs of the survivors of crime,
Mm-hmm.
because many have said that what they really want is not just punishment but accountability, rehabilitation, and restorative justice.
Mm-hmm.
Our prison system was set up, it was designed to rehabilitate,
We're not doing that.
rehabilitate, which means I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do a number of classes, I'm going to do a number of programs, I'm
Mhm.
going to do what I need to do, which could include
Right.
AA,
AA,
NA,
whatever.
addiction you
Right.
have, including mental health
Mhm.
issues. You should be getting those programs. You should be seeing those physicians.
Yeah.
You should be seeing those doctors
Right.
in the system.
Right.
And then you should be gradually placed back into society.
I mean, we treat the prison system like we treat the education system. We
Yep.
don't care. And we just throwing kids away, just like we're throwing people away who commit crimes, and we're going to
Mhm.
act like they just do not exist.
Yep.
So we ask the question. So where do we go from here? Sentencing reform isn't about reducing the number of people in prison. It's about building a system that truly protects our communities, addressing root causes and offers second chances. The current approach has been proven to be ineffective, and as Vera's report makes clear, we have to move toward evidence-based policies that deliver real public safety and justice.
All right. So we got some comments from the audience. It's difficult snitching on people you thought you respected.
That's
Or
true.
sometimes it could be blackmail.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man. I mean, it's not just like you said, man. It's tough to be in those situations, man. But regardless of what, our community is not doing a good job of handling it. You got parents trying to shut. I've seen it, man. Where the uncle was doing some crazy shit to the kids, and grandma wants to protect uncle.
Yep.
Because uncle, that's her baby.
Right.
We got to let it go, man. Somebody doing something crazy, we have to let that person pay
See
for what
say
what they do.
something.
That's real. And we can't have grandmas and uncles and aunties protecting their brothers and sisters and letting the kids suffer because a grown-up is doing something crazy to a kid. And we don't want to see that person suffer while we love him. No, that's bull. Dude
Right.
did some trash, and he's supposed to pay the price like
He's
anybody
supposed
else.
to be held accountable
That's
for what
real.
he did.
So, I understand, man, it's blackmail and it's a lot of things. It's hard to tell on your family. But dude, we got to do a better job to protect the kids, man.
Prison is just another business nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. We got prisons
For profit prisons.
which should not exist. There should not be
And they should not be as big as they are either.
They should not just be making money off of it, because you're going to make decisions to try to fill up your prison, and you're going to do things to try to help to make your product a better product. And if your product is putting people in jail, you're going to try to figure out ways to hold people in those prisons longer, instead of trying to figure out ways to get people back onto the streets and make your prisons less packed and have less people in there. We're just
so
going
that
to
way you have more people participating in society. You have more people voting in elections.
Right.
You have more people that may have compassion, may have
just more people becoming a part of society.
Right.
And instead of seeing themselves as outcasts, they can see themselves as something that's building something towards something good for the community.
Because a lot of these people, they just need something that's going to keep them out of trouble.
It's real. And you go into prison, most of these people are not educated. They dropped out of high school. They didn't go to college. They didn't get the education that they needed. So these prisons should be giving people pathways to make better decisions,
Yep.
not just throwing people away.
And they have programs like that in other countries.
I
Just
know
not in America.
I know we suck.
We suck.
We suck. We just suck.
Other countries can have programs for their prisons that will rehabilitate individuals and place them back into society, to have them as a taxpayer in society, to have them as an active voter in society to make changes, to have them be or feel like that they actually mean something to somebody in the community.
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's about, man. So, I mean, we just like go ahead.
I mean, it's time that we, rethink our criminal justice system. And we hope that today's discussion has shed some light on the urgent need for change. For those of you tuning in, we encourage you to read the full report and to think critically about how these issues impact your own communities.
Yeah, man. We wanna keep this discussion going. Because all of us are affected by this. That they're arresting people, they're putting people away for DUIs, for tickets, for not paying for tickets. They're putting you away for missing a court date. The only thing we do is just lock people up, man. And the sentences are getting longer and longer. The judges are getting stricter and stricter. And one of the things I'm going to talk about is the myth that crime is getting worse. When over the last 40 years, we've seen a decrease in crime. We did have a spike during COVID. COVID was a crazy time. But normal times since the 2000s have began, crime has dropped. Why are the sentences steady getting longer?
Right.
Why are people steady being put in prison for non-violent crimes for 20, 30, 40 years? And then you got a violent offender who killed my nephew. He's getting 15 years.
Right. 15.
But a dude who get caught with some drugs, y'all gonna give him 40
for some dope,
for some drugs. But the murderer, he can get out in 7 to 8 years. Like, what is going on? When violence is
rewarded with less time.
Yeah. How is violence? How is drugs worse than violence? You making some money. It seems like that money that you might be making is more of a problem than actually killing someone.
It's because the people who are the drug dealers and things like that, they're making sometimes millions of dollars off of black market.
But dude, the number one, most precious thing that on this earth is your life, bro.
Life.
Money comes and goes. You gotta live, man. So that's the end of this segment here, man. And hit us up if you have anything that you have to say about the prison system or anything that you may think could help the system be better. Send us an email at info@habarientertainment.com, and we'll keep that story going and talk about it more and discuss it more. And maybe we can have you come on and discuss anything that you may feel could help to better this conversation or to help the public, because we need all the help we can, man.
Any information that may
be able to help people, man, who's caught in this circle.
Programs you may know of
to help people to get out of this, man. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I've seen it. I've watched my brothers suffer going through this, not being able to get out the circle of going back and forth to prison. My brother, he come out, immediately passed away. He ain't know anything else but jail. And that's sad, man. And we got to get better.
Yeah, we do.
All right, man. Go ahead and run the hot mess, man. That one, yep.
Get ready for the week's Hollywood Hot Mess with Iesha Rowan. Sponsored by
no one. But if you would like to give us a sponsor, or if you would like to have your business shouted out throughout the week, we do offer all kinds of packages for everyone's budget. So please do reach out to us. Again, that email is info@habarientertainment.com.
All right, let's go.
All right. So this week, My hot mess is Elon Musk.
Man,
This dude here. I don't know.
I don't
But
think I didn't put a picture up there. It's fine.
Elon did announce an autonomous van called RoboVan
Man, that shit look a mess.
that can carry up to 20 people and goods. But he did not announce what the price was or when it would go into production.
Yeah.
If you saw the video of it going down the street, if you saw the photos of it, this bitch looked like a motherfucking toaster.
Yes, it does. It looks like a toaster.
Somebody said this week it looks like a motherfucking stapler.
A stapler. It looked like a bullet train.
Bullet train, yeah.
It looks like everything except a car. But you know what I'm saying, man, and Elon, you know, he went out on Trump's rally this week and jumped around like an idiot.
He did.
You know, and he said a bunch of stuff like he's the dark MAGA, and man, dude is weird, man.
And he's also talking to Donald Trump multiple times a week now.
Yeah. His mission is to get him into the White House. Everybody wants him in there, man. And you know, we had Obama come out this week and talk about black men and how they are 20% of black men are voting for Trump. They're with it. They would not vote for a woman, man. Yeah, I don't want to call it misogynistic views, but
you know,
I'm almost there, man. It's people who would rather vote for this crook than vote for a woman.
Yep.
You know, we lost last time. They
were saying on the
because
news
of that.
too this morning that
that's why Hillary
it's
lost.
not just black men. It's the demographics of men and women alone. All races.
Yeah.
Men
don't want to vote for a woman.
Don't want to vote for a woman. They are so behind Trump because they don't want to vote for a woman. They don't think a woman can run the country. They think we're too emotional.
This one thing I will say. We are the we
ain't that emotional.
We are the last first world country
to have a woman
Mexico
president.
Has a woman president before us.
Right. The place where we're getting all the immigrants and the rapists and everything else Trump is talking about.
The machismo and all that they talk about with Mexico and all that stuff, and we still can't get a woman in there, but they have. So obviously, man, we have some old
misogynistic ways,
very misogynistic views, man, and a lot of people would rather be down with a liar than vote for a woman.
America's been America for about 400, 500, 600 years.
Yeah, man.
And out of all of that time, we've got 48 presidents, and they've all been men.
But you also got to think about it. Women haven't been able to vote since what was it, 1920? So it's been 100 years that they've been able to vote. So the last
100 years that we've been able to voice our voice.
And I don't think women start really getting into politics until I can't even say who was the first woman to get onto into Congress and what year that was, but I would hope it wouldn't be too much longer after the voting situation. But we definitely have to look at ourselves, man, and I'm not saying you have to vote for anyone because you don't agree, but dog, it's a problem that all the third world countries have a woman before us. Right. I mean, that's an issue, man. We have to. Women make good decisions. They are good decision makers, and sometimes in some situations.
Rankin.
What year?
1916.
So 6 years it took. Still, after getting voted
into Congress, she was the first woman elected to the U.S. Congress in 1916.
It's crazy, man. And this, like I said, man, women just got their rights.
And it took another 4 years for women to even get their rights to vote.
Right. Yeah, it's tough. So it's I just wish America look at it itself. And like I said, Elon Musk, he's lost a lot of respect.
I don't even want to. I don't want to even touch a single product of his.
That dude get on my nerves. I'm good on him.
I am too.
All right, man. Let's go into what is it? Sports first.
Sports.
That's the one with the baseball diamond, right? One over. There you go.
Habari Sports.
All right. So the NBA preseason is almost in the rear view, and it's time to start making those early predictions in the finals. I know you've been keeping an eye on these teams, so let's just get right into it. Who are you calling for this year's NBA Finals matchup?
Well, I've been thinking about it all week, man, and I'm going with the Phoenix Suns and the Philadelphia 76ers. Here's the reason why. Over in Philly, I think Embiid, Maxey, and the addition of Paul George will be enough to push them past the Knicks and the Celtics this year. We haven't seen a repeat champion in like 6-7 years, so I don't think we're going to see one. If Embiid stays healthy, the big man is going to have his way in the East, man. Anthony Towns can't stop him. So I can't see the Celtics. The Celtics are a very big team. You know, Porzingis does not stay healthy, so I just do not see the Celtics going back. You know, this is my opinion. I do think Philadelphia gonna get it done. They haven't been there in a long time, man. Since Allen Iverson, back in 2001 was the last time I think the 76ers made it to the finals. But I also in the West, in the East, Maxey getting better every year. I think that's going to really help. And PG adding that veteran experience and firepower. I can't see many teams stopping them if they stay healthy.
Really?
Yeah, man. Really.
Paul George?
Yeah.
In Philly?
Yeah.
That could definitely be the boost that they need.
Definitely.
But what about out west?
Mhm.
So tell me why you got the Suns in the finals.
Man, I'm liking the Suns this year. You know, last year I think I might have picked them. I think I pick them every year.
You pick them every year. So why this year?
But anyway, this year I really do believe that they made some great moves. You got Tyus Jones coming in as a solid playmaker. You got Mason Plumlee providing size in the paint, and drafting Ryan Dunn gives them even more depth on the wings. Having deep wings is what it's about. The real X factor to me is going to be the bench. Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal, Bo. We need those three players to step up. We did pick up some more people like Frank Kaminsky and other players that's really going to contribute. And let's not forget, like I said, the Olympic run. Kevin Durant and Booker, they were able to sync up more than ever. They was together every day in the Olympics, so they was able to build even more chemistry than what they have already. And I think that's going to translate this year and into some wins on the season. And
Really?
if we can keep Bill healthy, they will win a lot more games. Like Bill said, that he was hurt for 30 games, and they still won almost 50 games. So if we can figure that out, keep him healthy, I do think the Suns will have a really, really good chance to have that number one seed and be able to make it to the finals.
So you saying that the Olympic experience is a key factor?
Most definitely.
And that KD Booker's connection has always been deadly. But do you think that it took it to another level this summer?
Yeah, absolutely. I do believe that this summer that those guys playing together and building that chemistry, winning the gold, that's going to give them a new understanding of each other's game. And we saw how Durant and Butler meshed perfectly on Team USA. Now back in Phoenix, they'll be in lockstep. The Suns team has the right mix of talent, depth, and experience to make a serious run, man. And when you add in the likes of, like I said, Grayson Allen shooting to be able to spread the floor, they'll be able to come out with a lot of different teams. They'll be able to go small with Royce O'Neal. They'll have a different way of being able to attack teams this year.
All right, that's cool. I like it. The Suns versus 76ers would definitely be one for the books.
Mm-hmm.
But we shall see how it all shakes out. But you heard it here first. Damon's calling it early, and we're going to see if Embiid and Durant can lead their squads to the promised land.
Definitely will be dope. That would be a good matchup, man. I seen Kendrick Perkins. He had him as his the Suns as his dark horse to make it. and a lot of people are, all on the Knicks because the Knicks, they have a new squad, and the Celtics. So I think those three teams are going to be we might want to put the Bucks in the mix, but we're not really sure because the Bucks, they kind of flamed out. But we'll see. We'll see what they look like.
That's true. But I got one last question for you before we jump into the next sports.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that the Lakers have a chance at playoffs this year?
They'll be in the play-in. They'll be in the play-in, and they'll be fighting for the seventh or eighth seed. They won't make it out the first round. That's not their emphasis this year. Their emphasis is LeBron playing with his son. That's what they care about this year. It's not winning. That's what they're on. I mean, I know a lot of Laker fans aren't going to like that, but that's not what they're really trying to do right now. They're just trying to make LeBron happy for his retirement and do whatever he can to play with his son and make different things like that happen. It's not about winning for the Lakers.
All right. So let's talk about the Cardinals. The win last week against the 49ers was something special. Mm-hmm. Real nail biter.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
it's a big win.
I got to admit myself, I didn't feel great about their changes going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
But the way they shut down the San Francisco's offense and held on for 23-24 victory was incredible.
Yeah, man, it was a great game. Watching it, man, I really, really didn't think that they were going to win. I just didn't think that they had a chance. It just looked bad, but yeah.
I mean, who you got this week? Cardinals or Green Bay?
It's a tough pick, man. Green Bay is tough. Jordan Love is tough. They got some great wide receivers out there. I'm hoping that the defense can show up. I'm going to pick the Cardinals. I'm not sure. I'm not 100. I'm say like I'm like 60% sure on that pick. Green Bay is good, man. I do think that last week's win was a testament to grit, and no doubt about it, the Cardinals showed a never give up attitude that we haven't seen much of this season. Kyler Murray was electric, man, and especially with his legs. 7 carries for 83 yards. That's pretty dope. Averaging over 10 yards per carry. That's the Kyler that we want to see, and we're going to need to see that in Denver. In Green Bay, for us to be able to get over that, man, and be able to get that win in Green Bay. It's going to be a tight game. Green Bay, the crowd is loud, man, and they're gonna need everything from Kyler to pull off the upset, man, because I think they are favored. We got the secondary led by rookie Max Melton, who was phenomenal last week, holding the Niners to just 23 points. It was one of their best defensive performances, shutting them out of the whole half, man. So we will see, but I'm definitely rolling with the Cardinals.
Frank said the Suns got whooped last night.
It's preseason, Frank. It's preseason, bro. So you know what I'm saying? We'll be all right. I think we lost it like Detroit or something like that. Detroit trash, man.
Elijah said that Tesla, Elon's new little rubber van, it's like a paperweight, a computer mouse, a name tag, plaque, extension cord protector. It can be used for many things.
Now, my thing is this that I really didn't bring up when we was talking about it. They don't have steering wheels or pedals for these cars.
Yeah.
How are they going to control them? They're going to have to tow them. It's going to be the only way to get them out if they break down or the battery goes or anything messes up with this car. What is your backup for getting this car to the place you need if it doesn't have the ability to drive?
Right.
You like, dog, my car, the battery dead and I'm out in the middle. You're just going to have to tow it. You're going to have no other option, bro. Like, that's terrible. And that's the only thing I don't like about that his cars and that whole idea that he's running with. Yep. You need manual just in case. Just in case. We haven't even figured out charging all the way yet.
Right.
And in some areas when it gets too cold, ain't no charging. So if you think you got this bus out there and it's supposed to be coming to pick you up and it's under 30 degrees, it just might break down. And there's no manual way to help it. So you got to come tow it and bring it to it's
right.
That part he's going to have to work out. That was the first thing I saw that I thought was crazy. Waymo, it has the ability to be driven if it's needed.
Yep.
Because sometimes the Waymo vehicles, they make bad decisions. They don't know what to do, and they're just sitting there. So someone has to come and be able to control the car if the car is in one of those situations.
Yep.
But hey, anyway, um, I think that Melton is going to be the key to next week for the Cardinals, though.
You do.
And coming in his own and adding Williams back into the mix is only going to strengthen that unit. And Green Bay's receivers are no joke. But if the Cardinals secondary plays like they did against San Francisco, we should be really looking good, man. And the combination of a developing rookie in Melton and a healthy Williams could give the strongest secondary we've seen all year.
All right. That's cool. I like it. So you saying that your pick for next week's game, which is tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
that the Cardinals are gonna head into this Green Bay game with some momentum.
Yeah.
So are you calling this another win for the Big Red?
Yeah, man. I'm saying it's a win for old Big Red, man. We call them Big Red around here. That's what we call the Cardinals. Like we used to call them back in the day in the Lou. I think that this is going to give them some momentum to look a little better, man. Um, and hopefully, we can get out there and do what we need to do. I think that the discipline is going to be huge on the defense. In a game like this, especially at Lambeau Field, you can't afford to beat yourself. And the Cardinals have been great at staying out of their own way. No dumb penalties, especially in their last game. No unnecessary setbacks. And if they keep that up and play a clean game, they've got a real shot to come out on top out here in Green Bay.
All right. So let's all get that right. Damon's picking the Cardinals to win this week. So
Yes.
it sounds like the pieces are falling into a place for him. But we shall see if Kyler and that defense can get it done in Green Bay.
Yeah, man. Yes, most definitely. So I think we got one more. Let's run the comic book corner. It's the one with the girl with the cape.
Comic Book Corner. Sponsored by.
All right, so welcome back to Comic Book Corner. I'm your host, Damon Dipleen Ellison, and today we're diving into episode 5 of Marvel's Agatha All Along. I've been loving the show so far, man. It has a great feel. Only thing I didn't like is all the singing and stuff. That shit's whack. But other than that, man, the show is good, man. It's time to dive into the latest episode of Agatha All Along. And man, what a ride episode 5 was. I don't know about you, Iesha, but I had one of those shit moments when Wanda's son entered the building. We even though we knew it the whole time, it still was pretty dope how he came in and everything.
I like how when they finally did give him to say that this is who it is. Like they had been throwing hints the whole season anyway, but they just boom, see me in the crown. They just broke out into the song with it at the end. But that was my favorite part. And then you get to see
he had the same type of crown that
Wanda had.
That Wanda wore. So, and we also saw Agatha's mother, who was we saw killed in the WandaVision show. She was killed
by
on the
flashback.
She was one of the people that Agatha took
powers from. The Salem 7 is the kids of the women
people. That's right.
that Agatha killed.
Exactly. So we got her mother, and her mother was talking about how she wanted her dead because she was taking people's powers from her.
Right.
And then we also saw Agatha take the powers from one of the witches.
Yeah, she did.
And take her out.
Yep. But she also said she couldn't control it. And we saw another instance of that when Billy was in his feelings and he let his powers go and he started controlling people's minds.
Right.
So, I mean, that just is that episode 5, I was the most on the edge of my seat than I have been the entire season.
For sure, man. So the Salem 7 are hot on their trail and things are heating up fast and Agatha's thirst for power may just cost her coven everything. So we don't know. I mean, we all know that she didn't really mean to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
we don't know for sure why she drove her power, took the girl's power. Um,
I mean, that whole episode is just, even when the portion in the episode where they were using the Ouija board
hold on.
and Billy had to figure out the Ouija board and like what it was saying, and it just started going, and it was just like woo woo woo, and it spelled out Nicholas Scratch. And as soon as he said Nicholas Scratch, the board stops, and then he looks up again and he just outright screams, "Nicholas Scratch, who is that?" And Agatha just stops taking the witch's power because she's like, "What? Nicholas? Huh? That's my baby." And as soon as she stopped doing it, you could hear Nicholas say, "Mama, stop."
Right, right. And that's, I mean, that was, so that to me, that gave us, it gave us insight onto how old Scrap Nicholas was. He sounded like he
It
was
was
little.
he
He was
sounded like,
like 5, 6, 7.
right.
So we're gonna see. Hopefully, we might see Nicholas
We
and
might.
see him come back in some type way or some type manner. But it's kind of dope getting deep into this story and what happened to these witches and their backstories and
Mhm.
everything. And they're just not like throwing it out there. They're letting you like figure it out with clues and things like
Right.
that, which is pretty dope, man. So the stakes are we're getting high, man. And right now, with Wiccan coming out and showing his natural abilities
Mhm.
to control and be a witch, is pretty dope, man.
Right.
So
But he still does have to, he does still have to say actual spells.
no, he didn't. He just moved.
In that
And
instance, he
right.
just
So
moved.
his
But
he
if you
remembered
remember
at
earlier in the
first.
episode, he was like, "Where's my
Right.
spell
That
book?"
was at first. They were just trying to show he at that time he remembered who he was.
Right.
So he started doing his thing. So he probably gonna be able to say his name in the next episode.
Yep.
Because I think that hex is probably off of him. So,
Mhm.
but I do have my eyes on Aubrey Plaza's character, Rio Vidal,
Oh man, her
the Green
character.
Witch. From the moment she appeared, I couldn't shake the feeling that there's something darker lurking behind the green magic. Some fans are saying that she's Mephisto in disguise, or maybe Blackheart, or even Morgan Le Fay. But the Lady Death theory, that's something that people are really
Yeah.
talking about. So we don't know for sure if she's Lady Death, but that's something that people are
I mean,
throwing out.
given that people are saying that she could be Lady Death, it does
Mhm.
coincide with some of the clues that they have been given. They did have her dressed in all black.
Yeah, yeah.
They did say in one of the episodes, death was coming.
Right,
Death
right.
is
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
So those could be clues to say that she might be Lady Death.
Mm-hmm. It
So
could be.
we shall see in the next episode or two.
Yeah. So last week we saw Alice break the generational curse with the help of her rock star witch
Yes.
mom.
Mm-hmm.
And who knew that hit song was actually a magical ward protecting her from demons? It was a heartfelt moment. But then in this week, it took that same theme and cranked it up to a whole new level of darkness. Agatha's facing her own mother beyond the grave, and instead of healing, it's all about guilt and punishment. Her mother, Eva Nora, is just brutal, but reminding her she's been evil since birth. And let me tell you, when Agatha looked genuinely hurt by that, you start to realize just how deep the feelings go between the parents and the mother and the daughter. And this is just it's just a wild story, man. It's kind of dope, man. And her mother she wanted to destroy her, and she's hurt by that, and that has caused her to maybe lash out in ways that she couldn't really control. But we'll find out more about it, man. I'm liking the show. I know a lot of people, some people on the fence about it, but I'm really liking what they're doing, and can't wait to episode 6. Should be good. So if watching it, man, it's on Disney Plus. Check it out. It comes on Wednesdays, 6 o'clock. We're shouting it out because we feel like it's a good show. I like what Marvel does, man,
I do too.
and I'm a big fan. And I everything's not perfect. There are some things that are not great, but I still love everything because even in comic books, man, every comic book wasn't for you. There were some books that you may have liked, some books
That's real.
that was made for other people. So I check out everything, and it's like when I watched Miss Marvel, you could tell it was for teenagers. It
Yep.
wasn't really made for people in my age category. It was made for teenagers. That's who they was looking after. And that's how it is, man. It's not everything isn't made for your demographic, man. And it seems like a lot of middle-aged men today are getting upset because the movies aren't for them.
Right.
And they have to understand that comic books were made for everyone, man, and they try to hit every corner of the demographics to try to get people. They want women to have a movie. That's why they had the Marvels. That was a base for female based movies. They were trying to bring the females in. A lot of men were upset because there were
Right.
so many women in the movie, and oh my god,
They were upset that Marvel decided to give women a chance.
right? It's
They
like
were upset that women were the forefront of a Marvel movie.
yeah, which is goofiness.
It is.
The characters have been in the book since the beginning. There's been women, so
exactly.
I just
There
don't
have
get
always been women characters. There have always been women and girl readers of comics.
Yeah.
So
you might not be the bulk of the people that's
right,
reading it,
you
but
still
they
want to
still
cater
have
to
women
your audience
that watch it. You have women that come to these movies.
Right.
They see the numbers and they're like, "Hey, look, man, we can make something for them." They're always going with their guy to see something. Maybe their guy
or
can
they're
go
taking
with
the
them.
kids to see something,
Right.
or it's a family unit going out.
And it's for the little girls too. You know what I'm saying? Little girls want to see superheroes that looks
Right.
like them. You know what I mean? And it's cool. And I know a lot of people don't like it, but I think it's good. But all right, man. I think that's all we got today. Yeah. So next week, do we have a guest coming in?
Next week we should have. Give me just a second here. Pull up this little calendar. Next week we should have Lisa Marsh,
She's
owner of Miss P's Gluten Free.
Oh, okay. When is old girl coming through with the book from ABC 15? Is that next week? The week after?
She is coming on in November.
Oh, okay.
Krista Bell. She's coming. I believe it was. Let's see here. If I can get my damn calendar to work.
It's
properly.
all good. It's in November. All right. So we appreciate everybody for watching, man, and checking us out. Like I said, man,
she'll be here November 16th.
We're just a couple, just watching the news and just giving you our opinions and letting you keeping you updated with the stories that we care about the most. And we'll be here, man. We're here every Saturday morning at 10:30 a.m. to go over the news of the week, man, and the things that happen through the week, to laugh, to get angry, to just talk about the things that happen. So join us every week, man, on Habari Live. Follow us, subscribe on the YouTube. Follow us on TikTok. We need it bad on the TikTok. We're trying to get to 1,000
subscribers
so we can start going live. I know it's not a lot, man, but we just got on the platform, and we're just trying to build it up. So follow us on there. We appreciate what everyone's doing on YouTube. We're up to like what 1,200 subscribers
on YouTube. It says 1.22K.
1.22K. That's dope, man, because we were struggling to get to 1,000 and we were asking everybody to come in and subscribe. So we appreciate everybody, man.
The new goal is 2,000.
2,000 is the new goal, man. That's the new goal. So thank you everyone for watching us, man. We appreciate it. And today is my birthday. I want to give a shout out to myself. Happy birthday to the thing. I got to give it to my fucking self.
Look,
old lady
you wasn't gonna give it. I was gonna say it. I was just gonna wait till you finish talking.
Whatever.
Trump.
Ain't gonna give me no love. Happy birthday. Thank you, baby. See my baby love me.
Mama just told your baby to say happy birthday.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, love. We appreciate y'all, man. And see y'all next week. Peace.
Holla, holla.